Oh wow, it didn't even give me a count. Hey, happy Monday. That was weird. Usually it gives me a countdown when I hit go live. It didn't give it to me, so I was just like, "Hey, you're here. You're in the office." Afternoon, happy Monday. Hope everyone had a good weekend. We are live here, YouTube, Facebook, and we're now live on Instagram too. If you haven't liked or followed on any of those platforms, we'd love to have you on YouTube or Facebook or Instagram. It's the same name on all those platforms. We're also on TikTok, also, but we just don't go live on TikTok. Same name, Chris at Peak. Welcome in, say hello. If you're joining live, that's awesome. Remember, these lives are always available as recordings after the fact. So as soon as this live is over, you can rewatch the recordings on YouTube and Facebook. We have a bunch of recordings from these from the last year plus of doing these lives. So welcome in. We are going to roll through. I didn't count up how many orders. It looks like somewhere around 18 or 20 orders that came in since Saturday. Last time I shipped was Saturday. So we're shipping orders that came in Saturday afternoon, Sunday, and in this morning, Monday. We have eBay, Poshmark, and coffee orders going out the door. You're in charge now. What's up, Tej? Thanks for saying hi down below in the chat. What's up, Britt? Timeless Classics is in the house. You're in charge. Comment down below. Are we shipping first? eBay, Poshmark, or coffee? Those are your three options. Just write it down below in the chat. eBay, Poshmark, or coffee. If you are watching this on a replay, if you write ship down below in the chat in the comment section, SHIP, I'll know that you're watching. Whether you're watching on the recording or whether you're watching it live, I appreciate you being here. Tease in the comments with eBay. So we're going to do eBay first. It looks like on eBay, 10 orders on eBay from the last couple days. So we'll get started on those. Rise and Shine, we'll do Posh right after that. How's that? And as always, if you get an order in for delicious coffee, you can do that right on chris@peak.com. I'll pack and ship your order right here on the live. You'll skip the line and we'll get your order packed out with a big dose of gratitude and we'll ship out coffee. This coffee was all roasted on Thursday, so freshly roasted. And if you're interested, I got to remind you, I have to, until all my neighbors are back in their homes, I'm going to continue reminding you about the fundraiser. There's 3 ways now that you can donate and contribute to our neighbors. The first is we have direct donation links. You can go to chris@peak.com. You'll see those links up above or down below in the description. If you want to donate cash, and that cash will go direct to our neighbors, there's direct GoFundMe links for both Joy and Mike. There's also Venmo and PayPal. That puts cash into my hands and I bring it right down to them, and that's funding the rebuild. So the 2 other ways that you can donate are you can purchase yourself one of these handmade Chris at Peak mugs. They were handmade in Burnsville, North Carolina by a fellow named Dennis McAvoy. He's a local artist up there. So Dennis made these mugs. We have a blue one, we have a brown one. $3 from each of those mugs goes right down the street to Joy's rebuild, and we'll be funding building materials and all that sort of stuff. I don't have a brown one in here, but there's a brown and a blue one. You can also buy a Chris at Peak. We've got this Coffee Lovers gift box. And here it is right here. So all these goodies. It supports 5 local Western North Carolina businesses. Also, $5 from each box purchased goes right down the street to support our neighbors who are rebuilding too. So 3 ways to donate. You can get you a mug. You can get you a Coffee Lovers gift box. I won't tell anyone if you get this for yourself instead of as a gift for somebody else. Or you can just direct donate cash straight to our neighbors. Everything helps. We've raised over $33,000 thanks to your help for our neighbors for their rebuild that got just trashed in Hurricane Helene. So the rebuild is going to still be months long, but there is good news. We have 1 out of our 11 neighbors that have moved back into their homes. So 1 out of 11 back in their home. That neighbor didn't have water inside the house. It wrecked everything underneath the house, the crawl space, their HVAC, their insulation. It did wreck their garage too, which still needs to be fixed. They still have some work to do on that house, but they were able, Bob and Margie, to move into their house last week. So that's a huge, huge win for the neighborhood to have one of our neighbors back in the house. But we still have 10 neighbors who 53 days since the storm are still not living in their homes. They are unlivable homes. So anyway, you can contribute. Go to chris@peak.com. Get yourself some coffee to support them, or get them a mug, a Coffee Lovers box, or just donate direct cash. It all helps. How many items are you currently selling on eBay and Posh? I think I have somewhere around, it's a great question. I think I have somewhere around 1,100 listings. I think 1,200 listings, something in that avenue. How do I order? You can go to chris@peak.com. If you're watching on Facebook, there's a series of links, I think just below or just above in the description, or you can go to chris@peak.com. You can see it right there on the corner of the screen. It says chris@peak.com. Is the popcorn gluten-free? That's a great question. The Asheville mix is, I believe the Asheville mix is gluten-free. The Asheville mix is gluten-free. The other one, the Reindeer Crunch, is, I don't think this would be gluten-free because it has crushed pecans, almonds, drizzled in dark chocolate, and a whole lot of love. Maybe it is gluten-free. This one I'm not sure of. I'll find out for you. I'll find out for you. That's a really great question. What's up? Just got on. Carolyn's in the house. Carolyn's in the house. Let me know, Pat, if you ran into trouble with the. Actually, I can just drop the link down below in the chat to make it easy for you. Here, Pat. Here's the link coming at you. I'll push it over to Instagram too. Good afternoon, Frenchie. What's up, brother? 66 and rainy in your neck of the woods. Feels like it's mid 60s and nice and sunny here. Cool start though. Overnight it was really cold. Overnight yesterday it was really cold, down in the 30s. Reindeer Crunch sounds like a good gift from my mom. Yeah. This popcorn, by the way, I just skipped right over it. This is a local business out of Asheville, North Carolina. It's a female owned, female CEO company as well. So the popcorn is out of this world. Every flavor that we've ever had from them is crazy. This is the OG, the Asheville mix. This is really, really popular around town. This is salted caramel and white cheddar, like a 50-50 blend of those two things. Just insane, really good product. It's just local here in Asheville, North Carolina. Their business took a hit during the storm too. So everybody's business did. They were without power for over 2 weeks, right before the holiday season, which is their busiest season too. So their production was offline for weeks. They've been running production, like overnight production and stuff, to try to catch up, but they still won't be able to. They won't be offering a few of their flavors for this holiday season just because they were down for so long. Anyhow, appreciate y'all. If you have any questions about what's going on in the neighborhood, happy to share those updates. Let's do some shipping. And if you have any questions about coffee or the products or the fundraiser, I'm happy to answer all those questions. I'll talk directly to how your funds have, literally where your funds have gone to. If that's interesting to you too, I can talk about all that stuff. Let's get rolling on eBay. Love the questions. Love the questions about reselling too. Our first order is an Armani shirt. I'm going to take off this thing. I'm already warm. So it's Armani Collezione. This is a line that Armani discontinued several years ago. They kind of folded it into their Giorgio Armani line, but this sat between Giorgio Armani and then the lower end Armani Exchange. It was kind of stuck in the middle there. Anyway, discontinued. These sell okay for me. It's usually wait for the right buyer. This sold for $26.10 on eBay, plus the buyer paid for shipping. They paid $5.95. I paid $5 for it at a thrift store. This took about 4 months to sell. These aren't usually a fast seller unless you price them really aggressively. Again, it's a wait for the right buyer type of thing. So thank you, Sam. This is going to go out at an 8-ounce rate, and it's only going to cost us $4.62 to ship this. It's going out to all the way across the country from here in Asheville, North Carolina, out to Palomar Park, California. 44 in Eastern Michigan. That's cold. That's cold. Oh, shoot. She'd probably like both. No, then you can't go wrong. Because I'm going to just randomly, everything will ship, by the way, on those Coffee Lovers gift boxes. They'll all ship on December the 10th. So you'll get them in time for Christmas. If you're buying for somebody, you'll get them in time for Christmas. They'll probably get delivered sometime between the 13th and the 16th. They'll all be delivered. So plenty of time before the holiday. They won't get hung up in shipping or anything. This is the second year we've done the Coffee Lovers gift box. Y'all liked it last year, so we brought back more. This year, though, $5 of every box is going to directly support our neighbors in their rebuild. So you can feel good. It's going to be a great gift for those coffee lover friends and family members that you got. It's also going to make you feel good because you know that you're helping people here in Western North Carolina and supporting 5 local small Western North Carolina businesses. All right, got a big sale here. $135 pair of Hokas. I picked these up. I picked up 4 pairs, exact same size, exact same model. Retail arbitrage about a month ago. The model here is the Kaha 2 GTX. So this is a Gore-Tex model right here, like a Gore-Tex running hiking shoe. guess trail runner would be appropriate. I actually sold 2 pairs of these today. This one sold for $135. The other one sold for $149. I think these will fit in one of these boxes. How's everyone's weekend? Did you get into anything fun? I want to hear about that. Do you have some good sales? I love hearing about your business too. We had a really busy day on Saturday. We went over to our friend Kate and Ben's house. They're in Fairview, North Carolina, which is the next town north of us, an area that got hit particularly hard. And their road, which is right on a creek, it's on Flat Creek. Well, it's on 2 creeks, Flat Creek and Rocky Fork Creek. And the creek wiped out the road. So that road doesn't exist. They'll have to cut a new road to get in there, which is crazy. So they have to take another back way to get in there. Anyway, we were over there for, I guess, 8 hours or almost maybe 7.5 hours, cutting down trees, burning debris and down trees. They have more than 20 trees down on their property. They were just able to move back in. A couple weeks ago, they had no power, they had no water, but they've been back in for the last 2 weeks. Man, we spent all day with a total of 8 people working out there. And sorry, trying to do 2 things at once. And I'm telling you, it looks like we barely put a dent in all the down trees and stuff. We did some other things too. We helped them rebuild the fence, fix a fence where it got knocked down in a few places. Helped them repair a panel of their deck, which got damaged. But mostly it was a whole bunch of trees and debris that we were cutting up, chainsawing, and all that stuff. And it looks like we barely put a dent. They could do 4 more volunteers days like that and still have more trees to clear up. It's wild. It's wild. That was a hard day of work. I'm sore. Yesterday I crashed super hard. I haven't taken a full day off of all this stuff since the storm. And man, I'll tell you, I crashed hard. My body was really, really angry with me. So took the whole day off yesterday. Kim and I watched some football. Both of us took a nap at some point during the day. Kim slept 14 hours last night. I don't think Kim's ever slept 14 hours. Or at least not since I've known her. I took a solid, I never take naps. I don't know how long I napped, but it was probably somewhere between 2 and 3 hours yesterday afternoon, which is wild. I never ever nap, but crashed really, really hard. All right, so this is going to go, let's see. It's going to go USPS Ground Advantage. Did I drop off those packages? Kim, did we drop those packages off at CVS yesterday or did we not? We did. That's right. I couldn't remember. So I'm going to go Ground Advantage on these. 14 hours crew needed. Yeah, I mean, it's not. She's not like that. She doesn't sleep that much. She usually gets a good 8 to 9 hours a night, but 14 is crazy. We were both just this storm's taken a lot out of us, probably more than either one of us wants to admit. Last week was definitely the most hands-on work I've done in terms of volunteering to help people in the storm. Every day last week I was doing something. It was a really challenging week, and I'm not complaining. I'm just saying you're here for the story, and that's the story. Last week was a lot. There was so much stuff going on, so many volunteers at so many different people's homes and trying to coordinate all that stuff and actually get stuff done. And we're giving everybody free coffee. And last week was a lot. It was a lot. And that's saying a lot because every week since the storm now, 7+ weeks, every week has been a lot. Last week was a real lot. Probably since the first week after the storm, I'd say it was the most trying week for us. There was just so much stuff to do. Brand new with tags, Polo, Ralph Lauren. You can see the MSRP of $125 on this. The buyer paid $57.60 plus $5.95 shipping. So they got a nice deal on this. About a little over 50% off on this. So not bad. It's a size XLT. So XL tall, and it's a really nice pattern on it. These patterns in a big size sell really well for me. It's like a lightweight cotton piece. It's going to ship at a 12-ounce rate. It's going all the way to Ennis, Texas, and that's going to be $5.09 on that shipping label. This is going to Doug. Thank you, Doug. Damn autocorrect. Joy's house is jamming. She's doing really, really good. Last week we got a lot of stuff done over there. Her floors were put in, not this past week, but the week before. We had to finish a little bit of the floors this past week. All the drywall got put in. All the drywall the mudding should be done today on the drywall, and painting should start sometime this week. Kitchen cabinets are coming later this week for Joy's house. She's got heat in, but the heat's been, the furnace has been blowing a fuse. So there was supposed to be a heat guy over there today to try to figure that out. The heat got all installed, like all the duct work and all that stuff got installed, and the heat was working just fine for 3 or 4 days, and then it wasn't. So that's a little hiccup, but she should be getting kitchen cabinets put in this weekend. Everything should be painted by this weekend. Some appliances have already been delivered. Some plumbing should get done later this week too. Plumbing's been the tricky thing, and I had a hard time finding a plumber for over there. And then this week, there's this weekend and this week, there's a lot of the energy is shifting towards Mike's house. So Mike and Alicia and their 2 kids, they got some drywall in. There's been some taping and mudding happening this week on the drywall. Insulation is put in throughout most of the house, but not all the house. And there's going to be some more insulation happening later on this week and this weekend. But yeah, really good progress happening at Mike's house, which is great. There has been always great progress, but there's like visual progress when you start putting the insulation in the walls and you start putting up drywall. Like it looks like stuff's happening. When some of the stuff that was happening before that, there was work happening. It just doesn't feel like your house is becoming a house. This week was really big or this weekend, and then this week will be really big for Mike's house. So we're pretty excited about that. Hey, Sister Steph. 5 sales in the last 24 hours. Let's go. Richard French. Mendy, I paid $65 a piece on the Hoka sneakers, and I bought 4 pairs of sneakers and 3 pairs of boots. So 7 pairs altogether. I've sold 2 of the sneakers and I've sold 2 of the boots. So I have 3 total pairs left. I bought them a month ago. So yeah, there you go. Hope that helps. So before the credit card bill is due, which it won't be due until December the 15th is when I'll pay that credit card bill. I should have all 7 pairs sold. So I love that. That's why I picked those up. Really high cost, but I knew with those Hokas, I could flip. They were all like good sizes and stuff too. I knew I could flip them pretty quick. Good question. Welcome in. Say hello if you're just popping in. If you haven't hit that like button, if you haven't subscribed or followed, we'd appreciate to have you on board. Let's go next. If you're new to the channel, I go live every Monday. It's been a little different with the storm, but I've been going live every Monday. I show you what sold over the weekend on eBay, Poshmark, Amazon, chrisatpeak.com, and Mercari, and we ship out all those orders. I talk through how much those items cost me, how much they're selling for, profit, loss, that sort of thing. Try to be really transparent. The idea is to help people get started with their own side hustle. We run the side hustle out of our house. The side hustle became a full-time job for me just over, how many years ago was that? It'll be 4 years in just about 3 weeks since I last had a job. So, but yeah, happy to share. That's what this is all about, is sharing with you so that you can consider a side hustle out of your house or grow the one that you already have. So I'm showing you everything that sells and talking through all the numbers. Speaking of, we sold Cabela's here on eBay. I do pick up a lot of Cabela's. I know some resellers don't love Cabela's. I picked this up because it's got this awesome camo color, and it's a size extra large, so it's got the size going for it too. It's kind of got like a nice thickness to it. So this sold for a best offer, $21.60. It was listed for about 10 days. I paid $5 at a thrift store for this. So this is real. I use the term on brand. Camo doesn't sell well necessarily for every brand. Some brands camo would, like if you had a brand like Brooks Brothers and it was camo, that probably wouldn't sell because that would be off brand. I don't think they make camo. But Cabela's, which is like a big hiking fishing brand, camo's on brand. So it's got to sell well for that brand. So always pay attention to those patterns and how that fits in with the brand. This is a pretty heavy shirt. This is going to weigh in at 1 pound 4 ounces. So let's see what our shipping label is on this. I could have got more money for this shirt too if I priced it a little higher, but it sold really quick and I made my profit. So let's go. So this is going to ship USPS Ground Advantage. It's going to be $8.64. We're going to put it in one of these 12x9 poly mailers. The mailers cost me about 6 cents a piece. This is going all the way out to Commerce City, Colorado. And this is going to Lawrence. That's awesome. Yeah, people love their Hokas. For sure. So $8.64 on the shipping label for this one. I charged the buyer $5.95. So this is an example of when I lost a couple bucks on shipping. But I also made a couple bucks in shipping on the last couple orders, so it all comes out in the wash. I should have priced this at $8.95, but when you move fast, I don't weigh everything when I'm listing it. I just kind of eyeball it. I didn't eyeball this one very well. All right, that one's out the door. Paid $5, sold it for $21.60 on that one. Plus the buyer paid some of the shipping. Here's another retail arbitrage play. So bought this clearance. Actually, this is online arbitrage. It's a pair of diesel Safato jeans, size 36 by 30, brand new in the packaging with the tags. It's sold for a best offer of $103.45. This will ship out at a 2 pound rate. And this is going to Javier. Javier is it's going to Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico. Thank you, Javier. Going to San Juan, Puerto Rico. So the shipping label on this is going to be $9.78. It is going to go USPS Ground Advantage. Puerto Rico is the U.S., so the U.S. Postal Service ships there. Gotta go. Thanks, Meredith, for popping in. Appreciate you being here. Welcome in. Welcome, James. How are you? Bubbles Golf is in the house. We're just shipping. So working live, y'all. I'm doing the work. You can ask questions. You can talk about your weekend. You can talk about sales if you're a reseller. If you have questions about this sort of thing, happy to answer those. It's a lot more fun. I like answering the questions. That's my favorite part. Out the door on those. I got a whole bunch of those diesel jeans. They haven't sold as fast for me this year as they have in past years, but they've been selling. Means I probably just have competition on those listings, that's all. All right, next up on eBay, another pair of those Hokas. Where are they? Literally same exact pair. Just got to take off the price from the store. So I paid, what did I pay on these? I paid $60 on these. This pair sold for $149. So if we do the math on that, $149, we'll just say about 20% fees and all that stuff. Ends up being $129 coming my way, and I paid $60. So I made $69 on this pair of shoes that I paid $60 for. And again, I had 4 pairs of this exact same pair. So it was one listing, one set of photos and all that. Just set the quantity to 4 and they sell off. And 2 of them sold this weekend. Love that multi-quantity. Makes for good dollars per hour. Some of you might be saying the ROI on that isn't good. I like to triple my money if I'm going to buy stuff. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that. But I'm happy all day to spend $60 on Hokas times 4. What's that? $240. Have 4 of them sell and make probably an average of about $50 or $55. Probably average $55 of profit on each one. So for me, one listing and I can make 200, say 50, that's 220 bucks profit. I'm all for it. And I don't care about the upfront cost because I put it on my credit card. I pay off my credit card bill every month, but that credit card isn't due until December the 15th. So I'll have all these sold before I have to give the money to the credit card company. So I use their money to make profit. And again, I don't keep a balance on the credit card. I pay it off each month, so it doesn't cost me any money. This is going out to Bernard. Thank you, Bernard. This is shipping to Waterford, Virginia. So the shipping on this one won't be as much. $7.88. And this is shipping at a 4-pound rate. So really cheap shipping because it's only going one state over. Business is pretty good, Andrew. It's pretty good. I'm a little softer than normal. I've been putting more time into the rebuild and sharing the story and creating content about the rebuild and physically volunteering at our neighbors' homes and our friends' homes. So I haven't been putting as much into the business as far as sourcing and listing. So I'm getting less out of it. The coffee business has been strong. And, most importantly, our area is making progress. If everybody chips in a little bit, we can make a lot of progress. And all your donations, y'all, have really helped with that. You can donate your time, but man, time doesn't buy building materials like flooring, like drywall, like tools. It doesn't buy plumbing. It doesn't buy sinks. It doesn't buy kitchen cabinets and all that stuff. So all your donations help. Again, the donation links are at chris@peak.com. There's 3 direct links for you to donate. There's 2 GoFundMe. There's 4 links. There's 2 GoFundMes. There's a PayPal. There's a Venmo. And all that money goes directly to my neighbors as they rebuild. You can also buy products too. Sorry, I'm repeating myself if you've been watching the whole time, but you got to repeat yourself because people come in and they leave. So they come and go. You can buy yourself a Chris at Peak coffee mug. $3 from every one of these coffee mugs purchased goes right down to the neighbors down the street. And you can get yourself a Coffee Lovers gift box, which I think is the perfect holiday gift for that person that just loves their coffee. They're going to get 2 bags of coffee. They're going to get soap made with Chris at Peak, the medium roast coffee, which is right here. The oils from that. It's going to have a nice, light chocolatey scent to it. It's delicious. Don't eat it. A little bit of local honey from an apiary in Bakersville, North Carolina. That's a veteran-owned apiary. This is from Traveler's Rest from my friend Carol Ann, who has her own soap company. The coffee is obviously ours, and this is a local popcorn company called Poppy's, which is right here out of Asheville. That's a female-owned, female CEO company right here in Asheville, North Carolina. So you're supporting 5 local Western North Carolina businesses and donating $5 straight to the neighborhood down the hill. So appreciate all that. All those links are at chris@peak.com, or you can get yourself a bag of coffee and we'll ship it out right here on the live. You'll skip the line. Those are the rules if you order during the live. If you do order during the live, in case I missed a notification, go ahead and just write "I bought coffee" down below in the chat and I'll stop and I'll get your order shipped out. I noticed a few shorts, cool stuff. How are you, Andrew? What's good? How's business in your neck of the woods? I'm gifting coffee for Christmas. When should I order for freshness? Order it as late as you possibly can, I would say. But I would say you want to have your orders in. I think it's smart to get your orders in by the 10th of December. That would be the smart way to do it, by the 10th of December. So that way, that stuff can get shipped out and get there on time and all that. That's when I'm shipping all the Coffee Lovers gift boxes. What is suggested retail on those Hokas? I don't know. I think they're probably like $240 if I remember right, because those are like really high-end Hokas. Those are Gore-Tex, like hiking shoes. So yeah, pretty high. I think it was $240 on those, maybe $260. You can look it up. The model was the model was Kaha 2 GTX. So KAHA Kaha GTX. And those were the lows. Kaha 2 GTX. I think they were like $240. You noticed a few shorts. Oh, I think you're talking about, like a few reels, a few short videos. I'm with you, Andrew. Sometimes I'm a little slow. Most of the time I'm a little slow. We still got some Poshmark orders. We got some Chris at Peak coffee orders going out the door, and we still got eBay. Here's a pair of Aloe leggings. I don't sell a ton of women's clothing, but I know a thing or two, and I know these Aloe leggings are hot. These sold on eBay for $24. I would have paid $5 for these at a thrift store, and buyer paid $5.95 shipping on those. This is going out to Brock. No judgment, Brock. They're nice leggings. They're a women's size small for Brock. No judgment. You do you. You do you. These are going to go out USPS Ground Advantage. This shipping label is going to cost, going to throw it on the scale. It's going to be an 8-ounce rate. So these will be $4.38. They're shipping to Brandon, Mississippi. Yes, sir. Thank you for following along, Andrew. I appreciate that. Trying to share the story. The story that I really want to get across now, in addition to the fact that our neighbors still need a lot of help. I won't stop fundraising for them until they're all back in their homes. But the other story I really want to get out too is that Western North Carolina is ready for business. They're ready for tourism. Yes, there's still a lot of things that are wrecked, but there's some neighborhoods that you'll go to that look like nothing happened. And they're open. Their businesses are slow right now. You probably won't have to wait in line at some of the best restaurants in the region. You can just walk right in. We waited 3 minutes at this Colombian restaurant. It's like really, really hot right now in Arden. We waited 3 minutes on Saturday at 7 o'clock, and the food is spectacular. It's called Wancho's. So it's a great time to come visit. And all these small business owners will take really good care of you. They'll be really, really grateful for your business. So we're trying to get the word out there that we're ready. We're ready. And if you have any questions about what neighborhoods are open or what towns are open or any of that sort of stuff, just let me know. Get me a message, comment on a video. I'll let you know. I'll give you recommendations and all that stuff. Kim and I are doing the best we can to go out and eat and drink our way so all these small businesses can survive, but we can only do so much. I can only eat so much. All right, this is going to go out at a 15-ounce rate. This is a this is a used Duluth shirt. Sorry, I didn't show it to you. A Duluth Wrinkle Fighter. I do pick up a fair amount of Duluth. It's kind of a similar brand to Cabela's in terms of resale value and sell-through rate and all that stuff. But this Duluth Wrinkle Fighter was a size 2XLT. That's why I picked it up. It sold for $18 on a best offer, and the buyer is paying $5.95 shipping. Shipping label on this will cost me $6.63. I just do flat rate pricing for shirts at $5.95. I do jeans and pants at $8.95. I do blazers at $9.95. I do shoes at $9.95. So sometimes you lose a few pennies on shipping. Sometimes you make a few pennies. It all comes out in the wash. Just makes the process easier for me. Robert out the door, thank you so much. Little Duluth shirt for you. A big Duluth shirt. It's 2XLT. North Carolina is one of my very few states I've not made it to yet. If my wife can ever get away from work long enough. Gotcha. Come on. Asheville is a great place for like a little weekend too, like a long weekend, even if you can't, take a bunch of time off from work. Good place just to hang out for the weekend. Almost same story. I did some raising and clean up with the wildfires out there. eBay's been slow, but I haven't put the effort in. I feel you. It's a tough time not to be for me be pouring energy into my business, but this is the world that we're in right now. So just making the best of it. I did some raising and clean up with the wildfires out here, man. Those wildfires hit your immediate area pretty hard. That was some bad stuff out there. Another eBay order. I'm still selling golf polos, just not as fast as they sell in the summertime, obviously. But this is going to Boston, Mass. People will buy golf polos as gifts year-round. They wear them year-round. They just slow down in sales. This brand is called the Red Vanley. It's a pretty new brand to me. I first started picking this up in the summer. This took a couple months to sell. It sold for $44.10. I think I paid $16 for this on clearance. So brand new with tags. Red Vanley is the brand. This is going to go out at a 8-ounce rate. I like it. So that shipping label will cost us $4.43. Let me know if you have any questions about shipping. I know shipping holds back a lot of folks. If you have questions, I'm happy to help. The more specific the questions are, the easier they are to answer. Chances are, if you have that question, somebody else has the same question. They just don't want to ask questions. You know how people get. They get scared to ask a question. But everybody's thinking the same question, probably. All right, this is going out to Zachary. Nice print on this too. It had an all over butterfly print. That's hot right now. People like those like all over prints with their golf polos. Like that's like an in style thing. That's out the door. If you want to know what's in style for like golf polos, just put on some golf on a Saturday or a Sunday afternoon on the TV. Look at what the pros are wearing. All those are the brands that people want to buy and stuff. The people, whatever those folks are wearing, you'll see they usually have like big oversized logos on those polos too. Here's an interesting sale. This is a Pendleton blanket. I won this on a Whatnot, on a live auction on Whatnot from my friend Travis. Just won this, which is awesome. It was a buyer appreciation. I bought something that allowed me to enter to win, and I won this blanket, and it sold for $54 plus the buyer paid shipping. This was a best offer. Check out this blanket. If you're not familiar with Whatnot, I do have a link in my profile. If you go to chris@peak.com, you type it in right there. You can see it in the bottom, chris@peak.com, just like in the logo. I have a link where you can join Whatnot and get $15 credit for free for joining. No strings attached. $15 credit for free just for signing up. And I've won this. I love Whatnot because you can win stuff. You can get really good deals on things. We've sold thousands of things on Whatnot. We haven't done a Whatnot in a while, but I'm still shopping on Whatnot. And sometimes you win something. So this blanket's freaking awesome. So $54 for free for me, thanks to winning that auction on Whatnot. If you have questions about Whatnot, let me know. I am a huge fan of Whatnot. Get you $15 to go check it out. It's a live auction app. People are selling stuff, a lot of stuff like clearance deals. People are just trying to move stuff really fast. I'm going to get a bag to put this in. Just to keep it dry in transit. Nobody wants a wet blanket. Just going to use a shopping bag here since I don't have any shipping materials. Get rid of this quite this big. I'm in the southwest side of Phoenix, Baseline Mountain. It was close enough to evaluate here, but I went to help out in the in-laws in California. That was nice of you. Yeah, those fires were bad news. Bad news. Appreciate you helping out. Americans helping Americans. I actually don't need this whole big old box. So check it out. We're going to use a box resizer. True story that this little thing, this kind of scores the box, and this you can just sort of change the height of this so you can get a nice even score around the box. Sometimes I don't use it. I'll just use I'll freehand it and I'll use just a regular knife, but it's fun to use this thing. It makes it like a nice clean box cut. So we'll just make this a little bit. Take this out to do the work. True story, my first really viral video on TikTok back in 2020 was me using this tool. And like most viral videos, it went viral for the wrong reasons. There was a lot of people fighting over why I was using this tool instead of a knife, or people arguing about the fact that cutting a box size down doesn't actually save money on shipping, which is crazy. But people were adamant about it. There was a lot of fighting in the comments of that video. That was my first really viral video. I forget, got 600,000 views, which was, for me at the time, was crazy. I was only creating, this is 2020. I started creating in June 2020. Right? Is that right? Yeah, June 2020. And this video was in September or something. So I had a pretty small following at that point. And yeah. Kind of funny how opinionated people can be about kind of simple things. There's many different ways to ship this. This is a good time to say there's many different ways to ship this blanket, and they're all probably the right way. This is just the way that I'm doing it. Part of the reason I'm putting this in a box is because it is It's got the hanger in there too. Otherwise, I might just put it in a poly bag, but that hanger will probably pop the poly bag. So I don't want that to happen. So I'm recycling this box. Some stuff that just got shipped over the weekend that we got in this box. So it's a free box for me. Where did I put that knife? There it is. You were so excited about the view count. I was excited about the view count. I was not excited about this comment. But that's when I first got the advice from a friend of mine. You might know American Arbitrage. His name is Carrie. He's been reselling a long time and has been creating content about reselling a long time. And I talked to Carrie about it. He's like, man, he's like, you can't listen to people who don't care about you. He's like, they're just kicking the dog. You can't even bother with those comments. He's like, I don't even read them. He's like, I skip them right over. Skip right over them. He's like, I pay no attention. So that's what I do. I'll listen to y'all because you care about me. But those crazy people that are proverbially kicking the dog, I'm not going to listen to them. I'm going to listen to my family. I'm going to listen to my friends. But I'm not going to listen to just angry strangers on the internet. Any of you who create content know exactly what I'm talking about. It's crazy. I'll put out a video about handing a neighbor who got flooded in a hurricane, about handing them $1,000 cash. You think that there'd be no way that anybody could be negative about handing your neighbor $1,000 that you fundraised for them. Like, you're like, how could somebody be negative about that? But people find a way. That's just how people are. That's okay. I had somebody recently comment about the way that I use a tape dispenser, and he was telling me how I'm doing it all wrong and how he's a professional shipper and all this stuff. It's like, that's cool, man. I don't care. I didn't respond. You do you. All right. That box is going to weigh in at 3 pounds, 8 ounces. Yeah, and it can make a difference. Yeah, 1 inch in any direction can make a difference in $30 to $100 on bigger items. It's crazy. Yeah, like the size of, especially when you get into the bigger items, like just a couple inches is like, it makes a big difference. So this one's going to be 3 pounds, 8 ounces, and we'll just put the dimensions in. We can actually compare. I'll do like 2 different size dimensions on this just so we can see the difference. 16 by 13 by 7. All right, so this will be $12.09 to ship all the way to Tucson, Arizona at a 4-pound rate, 16 by 13 by 7. Now let's just see if I left the box like really tall like that and made it like 24 by 13 by 7. So it's double the price. So from what I just cut it off of, it's $25.11 if I shipped it at that main size, the full size. But now I'm going to cut it back down to that 16 inches, $12.09 on that. Crazy difference, $12.09 or $25. So more than double if I didn't cut this box size down. So you don't have to trim your large boxes down. That's fine. But I'm going to take that few minutes and save myself $13 and change all day. Now, sure, would I like to get that time back from resizing that box? Sure, but whatever. What did it take me? 5 minutes, and that's with me talking to y'all and storytelling at the same time. 5 minutes to make $13. I'll take that, dollars per hour. Thank you much. And it's a recycled box, so it doesn't cost me any money. It's just something that showed up in the mail over the weekend. So in the door, out the door. Arizona, you didn't order anything. That's funny. If this is slow for you, what's a good weekend? Good weekend this time of year, I'd be pushing out 40, 50 orders would be where I'd want to be. And some weekends would be higher than that because this is peak season. So you'd be looking at 60 something orders, and that would just be eBay, Poshmark, Mercari. I also had some Amazon FBA orders over the weekend. It was slower. I don't have a ton at FBA right now, but I think I sold like 5. I think I had like 9 items that sold on FBA, which is definitely slower for this time of year. I just don't have much inventory. I haven't been sourcing really at all for 7 weeks. Like here and there, I'll hit a thrift store, hit a retail store, but I have not been putting the hustle into the business that way. Are you having any issues with Mercari? I'm not having any active issues with Mercari, but it's usual. It's like 6% of my sales. So Mercari is kind of like small change for me. I'm not having any particular issues with it. It's just same old Mercari. I quit Mercari once before. I wouldn't put it past me to quit it again. We're all done I had no Mercari sales over the weekend, by the way, if that matters, if you care. Let's get some Poshmark orders out the door. So here's a fun one. I bought like 5 pairs of these. I think they were $16 a piece. It's a Lacoste, brand new with tags. They're a pair of like cotton sweat shorts. I think this is the first pair to sell. I picked them up in August, kind of end of short season. But sometimes new with tag stuff, even shorts, and even you'll get tank tops and swimsuits. People buy those as holiday gifts and whatever. So anyway, this sold for $48 and $48 on Poshmark. Buyer pays for the shipping on that. I think that's the first one to sell. I think so. I'll put these in one of these free USPS priority Tyvek envelopes. Free at USPS.com. This is going out to Dawn. Thank you, Dawn. I love these multi-quantity listings. Even if these have to sit a little bit, whatever. I paid $16 a piece. I did one listing, set the quantity to 5. And as they sell, get that profit. 16 into 48, I like that math there too. So my profit on that, Poshmark charges 20% fees. So my fees on that $48 sale would be $9.60. We'll just round that off to $10. So $38 is what I'll actually get for this after all fees and shipping. And I paid 16. So I'm totally fine with, what did I say? 38, 16, $22 profit on a $16 item. I love that, especially the multi-quantity. One listing, one set of photos, one set of measurements, and just out the door. Next one is a brand I never, ever pick up. I mean, not in years. I really don't pick up this brand. I can't remember the last time I picked up this next brand. I do pick up a Lacoste a lot when I find it. Here's a brand. Don't go running out crazy and buying Thomas Dean. When I first started reselling, I picked up Thomas Dean. It sold okay back in 2018. It doesn't really sell anymore. I don't know. Maybe it does. I haven't bought it in years. I probably haven't bought a Thomas Dean in 4 years. But I bought this last week, and it already sold. Paisley pattern on this one. It's a size large, but look at that Paisley pattern. Paisley pattern sells well in the Thomas Dean. Took less than a week to sell. Sold for $19. I paid $5 for it at the thrift store. Not getting rich off a sale like that, but that Paisley pattern on the Thomas Dean, go ahead and pick it up. Is anyone else selling Thomas Dean lately? Has that brand come back? I don't think it has, but I haven't picked it up in years and years and years. I just skip it. I haven't comped it in forever. But at this Paisley, I just grabbed it. I didn't even have to comp it. I was like, this Paisley pattern is nice, and it will probably sell nice and quick. I priced it aggressively at $19 out the door. This is going out to Armando. Thank you, Armando. I just put it in one of these poly bags. I don't really like those Tyvek mailers, to be honest, but these cost me 6 cents a piece. From Ross, I believe. I haven't sourced much either, although my wife bought 5 Loungefly backpacks that were pretty good. Nice. I've comped those out a couple times. I've never been able to find like a good lounge fly for cheap enough to make it worth the flip for me, but I know it's a good flipper. So if you can get the price, your buy cost right. And they're not all not all of them have the same resale value. You know this, Andrew. Some of those lounge flies are just like more desirable depending on like what the collab is and all that. JB, what's good with you? What's the latest? Appreciate you, JB, following along with the journey here in Western North Carolina and always commenting. That means a lot to me. Obviously, you know how important that journey is to me. So you commenting and supporting those posts, that means a lot to me. It really does. Sell these all day, all night. Wouldn't be a day for me if I didn't sell a Polo Ralph Lauren. This one's a men's size large, nice pattern, and it sold for $18 all day on this. I think I priced it at 21, which is usually what I price these at, and sold on a best offer of 18 bucks. I think the buyer offered me $15 on that, and I countered at 18 and they took it. So every single year I've been in business, this is my 6th year. Every single year, Polo Ralph Lauren has been my #1 best-selling brand. The brand has been out there forever, and it's been widely distributed. It never goes out of style. It's always kind of in. So there's just so much quantity of it available out there. There's so many buyers for that brand. Obviously, the bigger sizes sell better. Attractive, in style, modern patterns sell better. Of course, vintage, cool stuff sells too, but not all things from that brand sell as well. But it is easily my best-selling brand every single year. My top 3 for many years used to be Polo Ralph Lauren, LL Bean, and Brooks Brothers. Those were my top 3 for several years. I don't know that those are the top 3 this year. I'd have to double check, but LL Bean, most of it doesn't sell as well as it used to. Some of it still does, but I still sell a lot of LL Bean, don't get me wrong. I just don't think it's top 3. Next up is a True Religion jacket. You can see the retail price on this. I don't buy and sell a ton of True Religion, but the retail on this is $180, brand new with tags. It's like a military style jacket in this green color. Sold for $49. So don't be like confused sometimes by retail price. You might think like, well, retail price, if it's $179, I could probably sell it for half off, which would be like $80. This would be a tough move at $80. $49 on this one. So people ask me all the time, like, give me a number, like what percentage off would I expect retail stuff to sell? And it's really hard to give that percentage because this one I sold for $50 and it's $180 retail, right? So I don't know what that percentage is. Let's just do it. Let's work out the math. 50 divided by 180. So that's 73% off on this, 73% off. But I sold something earlier. It was about 55% off. That was a Polo Ralph Lauren piece. I sell some Polo Ralph Lauren stuff that sells for like 25% off. So it kind of just depends on the piece, how high the demand is, how many items are listed, what the sell-through rate of it. Anyway, this True Religion, I don't pick up a ton of it. This one, I picked up 2 of these or maybe 3 of them, and I paid $16 a piece. This one sold for $49, so that's great profit. Great profit. I'll take it. But it did take about 3 months to sell. So, of course, I picked it up in August, which isn't really jacket season yet. Here it is. This is going out to Tracy. Also, you're welcome, Miss Julia. JB. Yeah, it is crazy how many people. We had lunch at a sports bar. We were watching the Dolphins game. We watched the first half of the Dolphins game in Hendersonville yesterday at a place called The Dugout, if you care. We like going there. And guy sitting across from me was from Pennsylvania, and he was down here with Baptist on Mission. The guy, I forget his name now, shoot. The guy he was on his second deployment. So he did 3 weeks up in the Boone area, which is about 2 hours north of us. and then rolled right into another 2 weeks in our area, in like the Hendersonville area. And so 5 weeks. He said he was taking a week off for Thanksgiving. So yesterday was his last day, and he was taking, no, I think tomorrow or something is his last day. And then he's taking next week off for Thanksgiving, and then he's deploying again after that. I was like, man, that's crazy. Like, you are amazing. He said, hey, I'm retired. And he's like, after coming down here that first time and seeing how much help y'all needed and seeing how long it was going to take, he's like, I couldn't not be here. I couldn't not. He's like, I had to come back. You know, he's like, the people that we've been helping, there's so much need. It's so widespread. It's so deep. So just kind of touching when you have people that, you know, he said he didn't have any roots from down here or any like personal connection with the area. He was just like, yeah, I just felt the calling, and here I am. And we're hearing that from so many people. Each time it's remarkable, and each time it's impressive, and each time it doesn't get old. But I mean, it's very common. We're hearing it over and over. I appreciate everyone. This is Alaskan hard gear. So this is made by Duluth Trading, which is another one of those. We already sold to Duluth. We shipped that out earlier, kind of like a Cabela's type of brand, like hiking, fishing, outdoors, hunting, that kind of thing. But the Alaskan hard gear is like the more desirable stuff from Duluth. Like it's their more like outdoor techie kind of thing. So it'd be like the Eddie Bauer First Ascent. It would be the equivalent of this. So this sold for $26. It's a size 2XL tall. So good size, Alaskan hard gear, nice like little pattern. This is a wool blend, by the way, too. So that helped the price on this. $26 because it's a wool blend. If it was cotton, I probably wouldn't have got 26. Probably more like 20 to 22 on this. This is going out to Rebecca. Thank you, Rebecca. Rebecca's in Greeley, Colorado, north of Denver. Man, a dump truck just drove by with gigantic pieces of like log in it, like logs that they had cut down from someone's yard. So much of that stuff around here all day. Sold the 70s LL Bean Coach jacket for $150, unassuming, but Japan loves vintage bean. Isn't that something? Japan loves vintage bean. I don't think I knew that. I don't think I knew that Japan. When I get those like international sales, you know how like they come through eBay, like the international shipping program or whatever they call it now, global shipping pro. I don't know what they call it, but you know how it just gives you the address to Illinois. I don't usually check where the item's going. I probably should. I just ship it to Illinois and just sort of move on with my day. But I should do some more looking. So you say vintage LL Bean is hot in Japan right now. Huh. You learn something new every day. I didn't know. I built the skate park in Greeley. Did you really? What's your like profession? What's your trade, Andrew? I haven't spent any time in Greeley, but I know there's a brewery up there. I'm gonna remember it off. What the heck is the name of that brewery that we really like? Wait for it. Greeley Brewery. It's like on the tip of my tongue. Weldworks is the name of the brewery up there that we really, really like. One of our favorite breweries out of Colorado, Weldworks. Even if you haven't tried their stuff and it's in your area, check out their hazy IPA stuff. It is top notch. Next up is Allbirds Tree Runner. These don't sell like they used to. There's just so much competition for Allbirds, right? They have so much, like there's so many of these like new pop-up brands for these casual type of shoes. These sold for a best offer of $28. It's a men's size 11. It's called the Tree Runner. These used to sell better back in the day. I just don't think they're as hot of a brand, like even brand new as they used to be. I feel like these new brands, they pop up, they're hot for a little while, and they kind of cool off and go away. I feel like that's true with this brand. It's going to go in a USPS priority shoebox because this is shipping on Poshmark. So everything ships priority. So why not use the free priority stuff? just going to use some recycled paper bags to keep this from bouncing around. These tree runners are going out to Galveston, Texas, to Donald. Gotta get a thank you card for Donald. Thanks, Donald. Absolutely hot in that brick in Japan. It's funny. Sold vintage Disney shirts to Japan a few times. That's interesting, James. What's up, Nick? Jackets, sweaters, and flannels are moving. I like it, man. How's biz in general, Nick? And how's life? What's the latest? Did I get a? Oh, I did. I was gonna say, did I get a forecast? 44 low, 67 high. Gosh, that's cooler than I thought you would have said. I'm just so intimidated by all those 100-degree days that you usually drop in the chat. Hope you're doing well, Nick. Good to see you. Built skate parks, huge concrete parks to small metal ankle pipes. Interesting, Andrew. Interesting stuff. I was a career coach for 10 years. I love hearing about like all the different things that people have done, like their path to get to where they are now and then what they're doing next. It's always very interesting to me. It's like, how did you get into building skate parks and how are you reselling now? Like, connect those dots for me. I used to love hearing those stories. We got some coffee orders going out the door. As always, you can get a coffee order going to, we just got an FBA order, so maybe we'll ship that out. We'll do an Amazon FBA order after this too. It just walked in the door. So yeah, you can get some coffee too. The coffee is ridiculous. Our roaster, Dynamite Roasting Company, has won Western North Carolina's best coffee roaster 12 years in a row. To win anything once like that is crazy. To be the best, but 12 years in a row is nuts. So you know the coffee is legit. It's fair trade. It's organic, and it's single origin. This is our medium roast. This is the beans are from Chiapas, Mexico, and they're roasted locally right here in Black Mountain every Thursday. So this coffee was roasted just on Thursday. We're going to start shipping out some coffee right now. You can get yours at chris@peak.com. There is an opportunity too, if you want to donate to our neighbors, you can donate fresh coffee. We've been serving people who are volunteering and relief workers in the area and our neighbors themselves. We've been serving them hot coffee, and the people who are rebuilding our neighbors, we're serving them hot coffee just about every day. So you can donate coffee to that cause if you want to. You can just purchase through chris@peak.com. You'll see the link that says donate coffee to our flooded neighbors. And that will put coffee, either whole bags of coffee into people's hands, or we're brewing up coffee in the mornings and bringing them to groups of volunteers who are rebuilding our neighborhood. So if you want to get in on that, you can do that. You can also get yourself some delicious coffee. Hey, drink good coffee, do good stuff. That's what our coffee is doing. And yeah, check it out if you haven't tried it yet. I'd love to ship you a bag or two, and we can ship it out right here on the live with a big dose of gratitude. chris@peak.com. You'll find the links above and below. Let's get some coffee going. So our first order is going out the door to Bruce. Got 4 bags of coffee. This is going to Michigan. 4 bags of coffee. So we got 3 bags. It's all medium roast, but he's got 3 bags of ground and 1 bag of whole bean. We have customers that do this from time to time. Like they'll buy like 1 bag of ground and 1 bag of whole bean. That way they can keep, your coffee stays fresher when it's whole bean and you grind it yourself, right? So sometimes people will buy 1 bag, they know it's so fresh that they get it, they'll take the convenience of that first bag, and then after their second bag or their third bag, they'll have as whole bean. So I'm guessing that's what's going on here with Mr. Bruce. He's like, that coffee's so fresh, I don't care that the first 3 bags are already ground. I just want the last one to stay fresher. So I think that's the thought process there, but Bruce didn't tell me for sure. Cannot find anyone that will take winter clothes like new. If you know a drop off in Charlotte, North Carolina, please let me know. God bless. Becky, I'm sorry. I just don't know the answer to that question. And it's not because I don't want to know the answer to that question. It's a moving target. So I could tell you a place that you could drop off like new clothes today, and tomorrow they might not need them by the time you get there, if that makes sense. So the used clothes is a tricky thing because a lot of organizations don't want used clothes at all because it brings a host of challenges to them. Clothing is just a difficult thing to distribute too because people come in all shapes and sizes. They need all sorts of different things: long sleeves, short sleeves, tank tops, jackets. They like certain colors, they like certain fits, they like certain brands. So it's a tough thing to distribute. Whereas if people have food to distribute, right? They'll typically do these food boxes that have a variety of stuff in them, and they just hand people the box with all that stuff. Clothing, you can't just like hand people a box with a bunch of clothing, right? They need to like pick out the things for them. So a lot of organizations just like really aren't messing with clothing because they end up, it's like hard for them to get rid of, if that makes sense. Because people are picky about clothes. And what else can I say about it? So I don't know the answer to your question. You'll have to Google some organizations and then call them up and ask them if they are accepting donated clothes. Typically what you do is you need to get in touch with them, let them know what you have, and they will let you know if they can take it. But again, they might be taking it today and they might not take it till tomorrow because these places run out of space and stuff. So the needs are changing their dynamic. The one thing that never changes, and I got to say this, the one thing that never changes is the need for cash for rebuilding. If you donate cash, people all of a sudden next week aren't going to say, well, we don't need cash anymore, we're good. That's just not the case. The cash, as their needs change, they can use cash to get whatever they need. If they need to buy, pay contractors to do work, cash can do that. If they need to buy building materials at Home Depot or Lowe's, cash will do that. If they decide they do need a jacket for their daughter, the cash can also purchase that jacket. I know you got some clothes and you're really trying to help, but you asked the question and I'm just saying, like, I wouldn't have known this having not lived in a disaster area. But a lot of these organizations, as soon as you mention clothes, they're like, oh, nope, we're good on that. We're good on that. It's just really tricky to distribute the clothes. I wish I had a better answer for you. Google some places that are like some local churches and some local hurricane relief. Just Google it, and then you got to call and talk to a person. It's really the only way to do it. Some of the places are requiring you to like have a reservation to drop stuff off. That way they don't end up getting, like, because if they tell a whole bunch of people they need clothes today and a whole bunch of people come tomorrow and the next day with clothes, and then they have too much, it kind of puts them in a tough spot. So some of them are actually requiring you to make a reservation to go drop stuff off. Not because they're trying to make it hard on you. It's just they're trying to make it easier on themselves. It turns out it's really tricky to distribute supplies and clothing and all that stuff. Cash is king. And we have some donation links that will get money right to our neighbors, right to the, we have GoFundMe links. It goes right to their bank account. You can also do Venmo or PayPal to me, and that's cash right down to them. So we've given away all $33,000 that has been raised has been distributed to those 11 families, and we are out. That money's been spent. So our fundraising budget is zero. It's actually below zero, but that's another story. We've given out more than we've taken in at this point. So the need is great, and we're really getting into the expensive rebuilding part now. So every $20 adds up, every $10 adds up. It really does. It makes a difference. But yeah, when we're buying things now, it's really expensive bills. Like buying flooring, it's $2,400. You're buying cabinets, and those are $4,500. It's big expenditures. So every 10 or 20 helps. But man, that money's going out the door real fast right now. Now that we're like past the demoing stuff mode, and we're into the rebuilding mode, those building materials, even if you have volunteers to install them, it is freaking crazy expensive. Cash is king, JB. Long story short, I was trying to go pro in the skate scene back in 2004-ish. Wow. Injuries, trouble with the law led me to the company, learned to weld, met my wife, was working in copper mines. Wow, that's awesome. I love the story. That's really cool. Hope you're keeping your nose clean over there, Andrew, now. You don't want no trouble with the law over there. But yeah, those injuries I can imagine be really tough in that world. Here in Arizona, hurt my back, went full-time reselling, but I've always been a part-time reseller since I can remember. Used to sell cars on eBay in the 2000s. Love that. The old eBay Motors. Is that still a thing? eBay Motors? I remember that. I love it. It's a great little side hustle, isn't it? I mean, it's my full-time thing, and coffee is my side hustle. I always have a side hustle. But I think reselling is a great side hustle. I think it's a really great side hustle on top of the main thing that you're doing. It's great for folks who can't work full time because you got kids or you're taking care of a family member, or maybe we hear a lot of folks who follow us and have followed us for years. They have health conditions that make it so that they can't consistently, be in person at a job and hold that job. So, that reselling is good for them because they can work it around their schedule and all that. So, sometimes traditional jobs with with schedules and stuff, if you have kids or family members that you're taking care of, like that, their schedules don't necessarily cooperate with the schedule that your boss gave you at the beginning of the week. Things change. If you have health issues, things can change. So I think reselling is just a great side hustle. So, and let me know, like if you're part-time or full-time, let me know down below in the chat. And I will always hear about people's like reasons, like why reselling. Like let me know down below in the chat. I love hearing about that. Next up, we got an order for Pam, 2 bags of whole bean, the medium roast. Medium roast is hot today. So 2 bags, whole bean, medium roast. All our coffee is available in ground, whole bean, or French press ground, which is a coarse ground if you make coffee in a French press at home, like Kim and I do. We have 3 roasts. We have a light roast, which is a seasonally rotating light roast. Right now we're doing the fall light roast. It's a single origin fair trade organic coffee from Honduras, from the family farm, the Diaz family farm, which is crazy. So it's kind of like buying your tomatoes at a farmer's market from a local farmer. That's what our fall seasonal light roast is. It's from one family's farm of coffee beans in Honduras. That light roast is going to have tasting notes of like creamy finish, caramel, and a little hint of cocoa in there too. Very subtle cocoa, but I think very forward on the caramel. This is our medium roast. This is going to have like a sweet milk chocolate flavor to it. This is what Kim and I drink. We daily drive this one. But right now, the light roast, it's my favorite of all the light roasts we've done. We started the light roast seasonally rotating last summer. So this would be our this is our 6th season of the light roast. And so far this year's fall is our favorite. Just really enjoying it. Kim doesn't really like doing the light roasts too often, and she actually likes this fall light roast. So if that tells you anything, but some people just love light roast. We're more of like medium dark roast folks. But this light roast is delicious. So this is going to Pam. Thanks, Pam. Pam's in Roanoke, Virginia. Appreciate your support. And with that, I think we're all shipped out, unless we get a last-minute order through chris@peak.com, which I'll check for. Oh, never mind. We're going to do I told you we'd do an Amazon FBA order, so let's do that. I haven't had a lot of FBA Amazon orders. More of them have been, FBM. We haven't had a lot of FBM orders lately. We've had more FBA lately. But we just got an FBM, which means fulfilled by merchant, if you care. And that means that we ship those orders. So let's get logged into Amazon. That's our only Amazon FBM sale of the weekend. I'll tell you how many we had on FBA. Just give me a second. FBA over the weekend, we had, let's see, including today, we had a sale 50 minutes ago and a sale 2 hours ago. So 2 today, 1, 2, 3, 3 yesterday, 1, 2, and 2 on Saturday. We had like 5 on Friday. But anyway, we do have this one FBA order. One FBM order. I like the FBA because I don't have to do anything. It's already shipped. Amazon takes care of it. So we got a pair of Lee jeans, women's size 14 Monroe straight fit. I think these are 14 Lee Inspire Blue. So these sold for $43.97. These actually just got returned. I think they came in on Thursday or Friday as a return. Brand new with tags Lee's, and they're going right back out the door. I do get more returns on women's jeans than I do on most other things on Amazon, it seems. Shoe returns seem pretty rampant too, but definitely women's jeans are, in terms of the stuff that I sell, are the most returned. So this is going out to, we pack all these up really in the same fashion that we do our eBay and Poshmark orders. Why is it telling me that this is going to be $21 to ship? What is going on? Did they order like expedited shipping? What's going on? For some reason, UPS ground is $21, but I can just do it USPS ground advantage, I think. Priority is only going to be $7 on this. So I don't understand why that USPS ground is $21. It's really strange. Where's it going? It's going to Georgia. Why the heck would it be $21 to ship something to Georgia? I have no idea. I've never seen that before. 1 pound, 12 ounces, custom 12 by 9 by 2 is the dimensions. That would be ridiculously expensive. I don't know why that's true. Anyway, let's get this shipped out priority. I'd rather ship it USPS anyway, because that way I can, $6.99. That way I don't have to go to drop it off at CVS or the UPS store. $43.97. Okay. $6.99. That's strange. Why would it be $21? Very strange. And on these, I don't put a thank you card in these orders. I put a packing slip from Amazon. I'm not going to show you because it has the address and stuff, but this is the packing slip. I'll put that in there. It's got all the information about returns and stuff. But really the shipping and all that is really similar. If you know how to do eBay, or it's got to be really similar to Amazon FBM shipping. You know, you choose your shipping label based on this, speed and cost, and you can ship FedEx, you can ship UPS, you can ship Priority and all that stuff. What's up, Mazda John? Because shipping costs can be outrageous. It's usually pretty inexpensive. This ended up being $6.99. I'm not sure why that. There must have been something weird about that UPS one. I'm not sure what was going on, but I'd rather ship it USPS anyway. So shipping label is $6.99, and this is a 2-pound item. So shipping through even Andrew, yeah, just answered your question. Super similar to shipping through eBay. You could ship through Pirate Ship. It's just easier to do it through Amazon, and then it's kind of like you get the Amazon protection by buying the label through Amazon. So I don't usually ship through Pirate Ship on Amazon. It's typically through Amazon. They offer UPS, USPS, and FedEx. So it's really got everything you want on there. Women's sizes are messed up. It's true. The wife's on a cold brew kick right now. Andrew, the cold brew. Check out the Black Mountain Dark Roast. For cold brew, this is my favorite. It's a blend of 3 beans from Honduras, and it makes a killer cold brew. Just because some cold brews, they get like really, really bitter because you make them strong. This coffee, this dark roast, has so much character to it. It's got a creaminess to it, a little hint of fruit too, but a nice like creamy body. It also makes a great espresso, by the way, too. But if she's into cold brew, have her check that out. When did you decide to go full-time reseller? I decided twice. February 2020, I put in my notice at my job, and then the pandemic happened. So I took back my my notice. Like literally, the pandemic happened. Well, I think I put in, what did I put in? A 4-week notice. And during my notice, I don't know, 2 weeks in or something like that, right? Maybe it was 3 weeks in. The pandemic happened, and I was like, hey, is it cool if we just not do that notice thing? And they were like, yeah, that would be great, because we need you right now, and we haven't found anyone to replace you, so we'll keep you. And then I put my notice in again in November. So right about this time, it might have been this week, 4 years ago, November of 2020. Once we moved to Florida, got stabilized, Figured out my sourcing routine down in Florida, which anytime you move, it's going to be totally different, right? Different sources, different sale days and all that stuff. And yeah, once we got kind of we got established down in Florida, and I felt like the business was in a pretty good spot. I knew my sourcing and all that stuff. I put in my notice again. My last day, I think, was December the 6th of 2020. And that's when I went full time. Yes. Carly, thank you so much for your mug order, Carly. Sorry I missed you walk in the door. That's awesome. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I put a lot of care into shipping those mugs so they don't break. You probably saw that. Last thing I want is somebody to get a broken Chris at Peak mug. So Carly, hope you enjoy the mug. I think they look better in person. See, I'm looking at it on the screen, and I feel like it looks better right here than it does on the screen. But Carly, you can let me know too. I think that's true. And $3 from every purchase of those mugs goes right down the hill to our neighbors who are flooded in the storm. Hurricane Helene, I should say. What's up, Mazda John? Look beyond the brand, worked again. Vayala Lambs. I don't know that brand. Is that a typo or is that actually a real brand? I've never heard of it before. That's awesome. It was very well packaged. Thanks, Carly. Double boxed and everything. I don't play with those. Wouldn't that be a shame to send you out a mug like that and have it break? I've had mugs break before too, like stuff I've sold on eBay. So it's a thing. Thanks, Sister Steph. Appreciate that. They look awesome in person for sure. There you go. And Sister Steph, you probably have 2 more that are en route still. I think I shipped those out on Friday or Saturday of last week. So they're probably still en route, your next couple. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your support. Vayala Land's End flannels. Oh, is that like a model of Land's End? I've never heard of it. I do pick up some Land's End flannels and like Land's End heavy jackets and stuff and flip those. I like actually flipping that kind of stuff. Lightweight, like kind of normal Land's End, I definitely stay away from. I do a lot of goose down Land's End. That sells really well for me. All right, y'all, we are all shipped out for the day. Appreciate you hanging out, spending some time with me. It means a lot. We even did an FBM order that snuck in at the end. So, and again, you can always rewatch these lives. As soon as this live is over on YouTube and Facebook, you can go back and watch it if you're into that sort of thing. And we have like hundreds of these lives. Just trying to be as transparent as possible, sharing exactly what's going on with our business so that maybe you too can start a business like this. Maybe you too can grow this business. And if you want to, go full-time at some point. But I really do. I think it's a great side hustle. I think reselling is just awesome as a little side piece. You remember you're talking about French broad chocolate. I saw where Oprah made it one of her favorite things. Oh, really? The French broad chocolate? She made it one of her favorite things. It's definitely one of my favorite things too, Andrew Big Cat. And one of this Poppy's Popcorn, Poppy's local Asheville, they partner with French broad chocolate to do any of their chocolate flavored stuff is from French broad chocolate. So this has a drizzle of dark chocolate on it. And if you read it on the back, it'll say French broad chocolate somewhere. I think that's true. It says it on the website. Maybe it doesn't say it on the bag. But French broad chocolate does all their, because they're literally right down they're a couple miles from each other anyway, but both local companies. That's awesome. French broad chocolate, if you visit Asheville, is a place you have to stop and get some chocolates. They're made, like their facility where they make the chocolate is right here in Asheville too. And they have a really cool storefront. Nice. Yeah, they are for the in-laws. Nice. I'm going to order another one at the end of the week. Nice, Carly. Thank you. Put me to work. Get me packing up and shipping stuff. Packing up those mugs does take me a few minutes. I told myself I would never sell mugs. And then I ran into those mugs from that artist up in Burnsville. I'm like, these mugs are so beautiful. I'm like, I have to sell mugs. Kim's like, do you really want to ship mugs? I was like, no, I don't. It's such a pain. That's why I don't sell them like on eBay anymore. But I'm like, the mugs are so freaking beautiful. But I'm grateful every time somebody orders one. But the packing is like, it's like 10 minutes of packing for them. And of course, it's like I'm going to do a little extra love because they're like, it's our mug. It's my logo on it. So the last thing I would want is one of these things to show up broken for somebody. But I appreciate everybody hanging out for a little bit. I'm gonna jam. Wishing everybody a great rest of your day. I'll see you live again sometime soon. I won't be live next Monday. I'm going to be out of town for a little bit, but I don't know when I'll be live next. But I'll pop on when I can. The schedule is a little bit wonky right now, but I'll pop on back when I can. And I'd love to see you again soon. Take care. Stay out of trouble. Sent me an instant message yesterday when you have time. Thank you, Carly. I'll check it out. Appreciate that. Thanks for reminding me on here too. I'll talk to y'all soon. Peace.